So last night, my friends and I had what most people call a boys' night. Instead of gaming or going for a late night drive, we hit McDonald's and ended up in a deep debate about the most impactful years in rappers' careers. We weren't really talking about their peaks, more about those big turning points, redemption arcs, the moments that changed everything, or when their come-ups truly began. Yeah, I know, a very serious and productive debate. But let me tell you, our discussion didn't look like this. It was a battle for survival. And that is how the idea of this video was born. Grab your Kanye labubus, some popcorn, and settle in while I rant about 4 of the biggest artists. And let's start with Kanye, who is...
I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh.
Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
With his highs and lows, you can't deny Kanye's influence and impact on hip-hop culture. Even if his recent music, the AI experiments, and the crypto thingies would make young Kanye cry, let's forget this nonsense for the sake of the argument. Let's be delusional for a bit, and let's call this long 4, 5, 6 year phase a character development. So you might think that for Kanye's prime years, I would nominate the late registration and college dropout eras from 2003 to 2006.
No.
Maybe graduation era in 2007? Nope again. Or even maybe my beautiful dark twisted fantasy and Watch the Throne era in 2010 to 2011? Wrong again. His prime years are definitely 2018 to 2019. Fight me on that. I'll beat you all. So hear me out. In 2016, Kanye released The Life of Pablo, which was a banger, obviously, and in August 2016, a Saint Pablo tour was announced. By the way, the tour stage design was just peak for me. I mean, look at that. The stage is literally suspended from the ceiling. And the stage itself created one of the most beautiful posters that you could have on the wall. But back to the topic. Sadly, Kanye cancelled the remaining 21 dates on the tour, following a week of no shows, then a bizarre concert rant where he criticized Jay-Z and Beyonce and praised Donald Trump. Later, he was admitted for psychiatric observation, and then he stayed hospitalized over the Thanksgiving weekend because of a temporary psychosis stemming from sleep deprivation and extreme dehydration. Following that episode, Kanye took a 11-month break from posting on Twitter and the public in general. While the news reports often framed it as a breakdown, Kanye himself later referred to it as a breakthrough and a significant period in his life. Oof, that's tough. And after that, Kanye rose like a phoenix from the ashes. First of all, he dropped 3 godly albums. Yay, a collab album with Kid Cudi, Kids See Ghosts, and Jesus Is King. You might argue that Jesus Is King is kinda mid, and you would be wrong, because tracks like God Is, Closed on Sunday, Follow God, are on that album. Additionally, Kanye produced albums for Good Music label mates, Pusha T's Daytona, Tiana Taylor's KTSC, and Nas Nazir. After that, he released one of the hardest diss tracks on Drake, called Lift Yourself. Even the stage designs look better than ever. I mean, look at those stages. And even look how happy and locked in he seemed to be. So yeah, 2018, 2019 was Kanye at peak production. Spiritual, stylish, ruthless in creativity, and impossible to ignore. Fight me on that. But sadly, let's be real, we might never see him that locked in again. Anyway, let's move on to Kanye's less controversial protege, Travis Scott, also known as La Flame.
I went on a stand, told the judge, pat my cup. Ran up 20 million, told the devil, keep it look, keep that.
Before we get into the discussion of prime Travis Scott, I need to know, why did Kick Out on Jack Boys 2 have random 21 Savage adlibs? I know it's old news, but I still haven't managed to find an answer. Please help me, guys. Anyways, with Travis, as we all know, it's all about turning hype into an experience. I swear to God, somewhere on my bucket list between having dinner with Tyla and going to amusement park with Kanye, there's a wish to experience a Travis Scott concert. I mean, obviously after 2021 and not before. Nevertheless, let me remind you and show you how Travis Scott's career took off. And let me tell you beforehand, some people might think that his unexpected encounters with other talented artists were just pure luck, but I would disagree. Sure, luck played a part, but an even bigger role was his determination and raw talent. So, Webster, aka Travis Scott, basically from day one, at around 17 or 18, had already formed two music groups, the Graduates and the Classmates. They released a couple of projects, but nothing really took off. And eventually, the group split up. After secretly dropping out of his second year at college in San Antonio, he went to New York City to make music, and used the money his parents gave him for books and food to buy plane tickets and studio time at mostly Just Blaze's studio. With no luck, he then moved to Los Angeles, and while sleeping at a friend's dorm room, he kept on releasing music. Eventually, Cactus Jack's breakthrough came in 2011, while working on his first solo project, somehow he managed to track down Kanye West's engineer and super producer Mike Dean, sending them samples of his work. A few months later, in 2012, he completed Lights, a song and a music video that would catch the eye of hip-hop legend and producer T.I. At the same time, Anthony, a Kanye West engineer who had ties to Kanye, took notice of the Lovesick video. This led to Anthony managing Scott and introducing him to Kanye in 2012, leading to a good music contract.
I met Travis. He was emailing me back and forth when he was like 15, 16 years old, and he'd send me beats and I'd listen, and as he was growing, you know, we collaborated, and then he moved to Los Angeles in like 2012. Then I started managing him and brought him into the Kanye camp and just help him grow and become what he has become. You know, he's high energy in the studio. When he loves something, he's like jumping on the desk, he's jumping on the couch, he's going through the roof.
So there you go. This is the formula. Sleep on people's couches, trust your work, track down who is in charge, send them samples, and hustle your way to the top. When Travis Scott broke onto the scene with his debut mixtape Owl Pharaoh in 2013, the hip-hop world took notice. This wasn't just a new rapper or another Kanye West's protege. It was the arrival of a fresh, daring force that was unafraid to play the genre's boundaries to raging new heights. He surrounded himself with great musicians and producers who seamlessly fused elements of hip-hop, rock, electronic music, and R&B, and Scott crafted a soundscape that felt at once familiar and groundbreaking. At least for me, Travis's career beginnings are genuinely inspiring, and for that reason alone, his most impactful years have to be either 2011 or 2012. And yeah, you can fight me on that too. Moving on to the Six God himself, OVO's own Drake. So yeah, these past 2 years might not have been Drake's best era musically, but let me tell you, even after taking a few losses, and yeah, I'm talking about the beef with Kendrick, both in music and in court, he will still go down as one of the greats. And I'm saying that not as a Drake hater or a Kendrick stan. I love both of their music and honestly their characters too. Now, when we talk about Drake, we have to talk about his biggest year, which is definitely 2018.
Walt, please just hear me out, please.
Between 2015 and 2019, you literally couldn't go anywhere without hearing a Drake song. Even if you weren't into rap, you knew who he was. 2018 was a year when Six God dropped 3 #1 bangers back-to-back. God's Plan, Nice for What, and In My Feelings. He straight up took over the Hot 100, holding 7 of the top 10 spots at once, breaking a 54-year-old Beatles record in the process. And that's not even counting the streaming records he also smashed on Spotify and Apple Music. Everywhere you turned, Drake was there. Your radio, your playlist, your meme feed, you couldn't escape that stupid "Kika Do You Love Me" trend. Now, obviously, you could argue that 2015 was his year. He was on 99 overall rating with Hall of Fame badges that year. Riding the wave from Take Care and Nothing was the same, he dropped a dark rap classic, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Then he destroyed Meek Mill in a beef and released a collab album with Future, and he did that all in the same year. And you wouldn't be wrong if you argued that 2015 was indeed his year. But that opinion seems to come more from a rap-centric fan, which absolutely has merit and is a valid take. Still, I really think 2018 Drake was the most refined version of himself. His sound was fine-tuned, his diversity unmatched, and his balance between bars, melodies, and R&B was at its peak. His work ethic that year was on another level as well. It might seem that as the years go by, his popularity grows simply because he is more and more established. Good example, LeBron's jersey sell more in 2018 than in 2012, even though 2012 was his peak. This effect might apply in my case as well. I think even in terms of just raw output of good songs, it's still hard to beat 2018. Features that year were insane. You can't really judge the quality of music objectively like you can judge game performance in basketball.
Jeez Louise, man.
That being said, I hope you enjoyed my rant, and as strange as it sounds, I actually hope you will disagree with my few points, because nowadays it's really important to have your own opinion and stand by it.
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!